It's a pleasure to me to meet Coach Rivera from the Washington football team. I'm sorry, Coach, it's still difficult for me not to tell him the Redskins, but you know, I think it happens to everybody in the country. How you doing, Coach? Pleasure.
I'm doing very well. I really am. Thank you very much, John.
You know, September it's an important month for the Hispanic heritage and all this stuff. And I wanted to know a little bit about your background. I read that your father is from Puerto Rico and your mom from Mexican descent, correct?
Yes. My father's family's from Bayamon, Puerto Rico, where he grew up. Then came to the United States to serve in the United States military. He met my mother in Salinas, California. You know, she's of Mexican and Filipino heritage.
Okay, and how difficult was it for you? You're from California.
Yes.
As well, we can say minority Hispanic. Was it difficult for you when you were a kid?
Not really. I think because of not knowing any different, and just sports was always kind of my avenue to doing things. You know, it's kind of what helped me kind of guide through things, and you know, being good in sports, you were accepted, and I think that really helped me as I grew up and you know had success as a young man.
Did you, Coach, from a very young age, knew what you wanted to do? You were one of those kids that were very focused, and you know where you were going.
Yes, I was. You know, and I think a lot of it comes from you know the work ethic that I saw in my parents. I saw in my grandparents. You know, my grandfather worked the fields in Salinas, and just knowing how hard he worked to create opportunities for his family, for my mom's family. I think that really made a huge impression, knowing that my father joined the military to be able to send money home to his family, that he worked hard. I think that was something that was really kind of shown to us growing up, that you want to succeed, you have to work hard. And I think it's an innate quality that a lot of Hispanics have.
So your father at military, was he very strict with you, or you know, military type? Or
no, he wasn't. He wasn't very strict, but he knew. He said he had rules that we followed. He knew that by having us be disciplined, that by having us, you know, be accountable for the things that we did, that we could all be successful. And so I think that's one of those innate things that you grow up with, you learn. And again, I really do believe that it is something that when you look within our culture, hard work, family, that's very important.
Yes, it is. It is, Coach. So now that you mentioned all that and you have all the right ingredients, what is the most difficult barrier or obstacle you had to you know go through?
You know, there really weren't a lot of Hispanics that played professional football. And so when you found somebody who was like you know, you gravitated, you watched Tom Flores,
right?
You know, Tom Plunkett, you know, Joe Cap,
right.
Roman Gabriel. I mean, these were guys that I followed and I aspired to be. So I did have those role models. There weren't a lot of them, but I had them. You know, in baseball was Roberto Clemente. I mean, you know, he was one to help break the barrier. So those were the guys that I looked up to growing up, that I wanted to be like, that I wanted to grow into.
What do you consider your most important achievement?
I think becoming a head coach in the NFL. Playing in the NFL was big, but I think becoming a head coach, because to all the young Hispanic people that want to coach, that they now see that, hey, you can be a head coach, you can make it. I learned that when I watched Tom Flores get to where he is. Now he's a Hall of Famer. I mean, right. that to me is special. I mean, I take so much pride in the fact that he's gotten there, right. that I know that I have a chance. And so now for me, I'm that example, and I think it is part of my responsibility.
Do you, and I like to ask these successful people like you, have rules of life? You know, are you very target orientated? You know what I mean?
Yep. You know, I have a set of core values that I've tried to maintain and live my life through. And, you know, that it's about hard work, respect, listening, and discipline, and family. I think, to me, those are the core values that I try to follow, because I do think culture is very important. And when we talk about culture building in terms of this organization and what we're trying to do here with the Washington football team now is we want to build sustainable winning culture. And to me, you have to live by your core values. And those to me are, you know, I've learned from my parents, and it starts with family, and it starts with discipline, and it starts with hard work and respect and listening. You know, that if I do those things and I live my life accordingly, I can be successful, or at least I believe that's why I'm successful.
So, Coach, and I ask this very respectfully, you don't consider yourself successful? I mean, you're one of you have one of 32 jobs in the world that everybody wants. You know, you're a successful coach. You've been 2 times Coach of the Year in the NFL. You won a Super Bowl as a player, as I said. You still have dreams
Yes.
To achieve?
Yes. I want to win a Super Bowl as a head coach. I think that's one of the things that I think is very important in what I do. I've always believed that if you do anything, you want to do it to be the best. And I want to be the best football coach I can be. And I want it to get to the peak and pinnacle of that. And that's winning a Super Bowl. So I would love to do that. And to me, I think it's important, but I also think it's not the end all. Because if I don't get there, I know, at least like you said, and I think it's important, John, that people understand I am one of 32. So I've been very fortunate to be one of 32.
Right. And I understand that perfectly. Now, let me take you a little bit back, Coach. Even though you talk about people from my time, NFL-wise, what was your first memory of the NFL? Do you remember?
Wow. I remember as a kid, you know, just turning the TV on and watching guys play football and how exciting it was. You know, my first chance to play was when I was a peewee. When I was in the 2nd grade, we were stationed in Fort Meade, Maryland, and I played for the peewee program they had there. That was my first opportunity to play.
A message for the Hispanic community you want to tell everybody?
Well, I think that the biggest thing, more than anything else, is that, you know, you can be anything you want. You have an opportunity, you have a chance to do what you want. And I'm an example of a guy that had an opportunity and was able to take advantage of it. I had a lot of good people help me along the way too. I didn't do this all by myself. I've been very fortunate to get to where I am today. And, you know, I credit my family with a lot of my success.
Coach, you're very kind, really enlightening to talk to somebody like you. I appreciate it.